and welcome everyone. How you all doing today? So I'm going to be doing this game here from now on for my live streams at the very least, and now I'm going to be doing also uploads for Black Myth Wukong until I'm done with that. I decided I would do this because of a couple of reasons. Number one, I was getting a little antsy completing the game, even though I'm really excited and liking the game in a lot of ways. I do want to play this game. So, and secondly, I can only play this game apparently online with the specific settings I want to play it with. So, yeah, I guess I'll be doing that then. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get on board. And there's a lot to talk about for the record in terms of what's been going on with politics. I just got updated in about, I don't know, an hour or so on what's been going on with Trump. But, yeah. Hopefully, things are not going to be going down the drain with certain things happening. You would, of course, the tariff thing is obviously like ridiculous. I don't think that would happen. But yeah.
For 10,000 years, the Emperor's Inquisition have fought a secret war to defend humanity. We keep vigil in the darkness. We hunt among the shadows. We pass judgment upon the mutant, the traitor, and the heretic. We purge the world of the taint lurking among the stars. We are Inquisitors. We shall fear nothing. For we are what you fear.
I gotta say, I really do like that intro there. So yeah, let's, first of all, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the whole birthright citizenship thing with regards to how Trump is trying to end or rescind its existence. It's kind of ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. First of all, before we get that going there, I gotta go ahead and check something here because right now I'm doing a bit of a test in terms of how well I can be heard. I'm not too sure on my settings, so let me go ahead and do that. Alright, cool, I can be heard just fine then. Alright, let me just re-acquire that now. So yeah. This, put this down a little bit here. And yeah, let's go and create our character. Sister Dominion, because honestly I prefer that than anything else there. I want to see about, you know, editing her looks, because I'd rather have her with white hair than everything else. I mean, come on, seriously, a sister battle without white hair, it's heresy. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'll be doing a season campaign. I think I'll do that when I have more consistent access to it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's go with Angelica.
Inquisitor's log. Classified report, scheduled for later transmission. I am closing on the source of the inquisitorial distress signal I was assigned to investigate. The coordinates I received from the Caligari Conclave led me to a desolate system. There were many delays during the journey. The intensity of the Caligari warp surges is beyond anything I've experienced. These anomalies are spreading through the subsector like a tidal wave. The distress signal has an ancient encryption used by the Holy Odos. It is authentic, but extremely old. The signal is coming from a battle fortress monastery that was likely spat from the warp when the tide of the surges swept through the sector. There is no response to our hailing signals.
Inquisitor, this is your captain speaking. I'm still trying to hail the monastery, but I get no response.
The hull looks intact now. I think it was simply abandoned a very long time ago.
Then what do you expect to find over there?
Something that once belonged to the Inquisition. And lots of empty halls.
Sounds exciting. I've instructed your pilots to land on the hangar deck.
Stand by and wait for my signal.
Inquisitor, the automatic defense system has been activated. The turrets are attacking you. Do you...
I remember hearing the deafening roar of the turrets. My Imperial carrier was trailing a blaze of fire and smoke as it was smashed into the hangar deck. I heard the squeaking of metal, but the vast emptiness of the colossal hull swallowed the noise somehow, slowly, painfully apart out of the smoldering wreckage. The air was stale, and the mysterious fortress monastery loomed dark in the
Captain, do you copy? Captain Von Winter, can you hear me? Strange. Vox communication is jammed, and I can't use my teleporter device. Something must be disturbing my signal. I will record everything in my audio log, in case I don't return. Inquisitorial log. New entry. While attempting to dock in the hangar of an unknown fortress monastery, my transport took heavy fire. I suspect that the automatic weapon systems were activated, but I don't yet know why. The transport has been destroyed, along with my equipment. My pilot is dead. I will pray for him later.
Okay, clearly I've got to activate my control thing in terms of my controller here. Let's see how I can do that. Here we go, enable control. That's what I should have done in the first place. Game needs to be started with the controller plugged in order to use it. Option can only be changed from the main menu. Oh, okay, I have to actually like... I have to quit to the main menu, apparently. I didn't know that, so, you know, I played this game beforehand, but it was on a console with someone else's game, and a friend of mine let me play it, so, you know, just to try it out here. Alright, there we go. Alright, okay, since I already did that one. Should have known, but whatever. Skip cutscene.
Inquisitorial log. New entry. While attempting to dock in the hangar of an unknown fortress monastery, my transport took heavy fire. I suspect that the automatic weapon systems were activated, but I don't yet know why. The transport has been destroyed, along with my equipment. My pilot is dead. I will pray for him later.
The game mode contains many objects such as doors, chests, yada yada yada. Yeah, okay, I know what that meant.
Interesting. Mindless servitors were created for menial tasks, but having a flesh drone just for operating the door seems excessive. Open the door.
Alright. So, I guess it's going to be a lot of dialogue here and a lot of tutorial stuff here going on at the moment. I'll just, you know, let you guys go and read that if you guys want, but of course you're going to have to pause the feed here, you know.
An ancient cogitator. Let's see if the tech prayers still hold. It might have information about this place. Just as I suspected. It's a pile of rust. At least I found some interesting diagnostics. I should check all the cogitators on this ship for other details.
Alright, so anyways, Trump's whole birthright citizenship that he's trying to do at the moment. He's trying to basically end the very idea of birthright citizenship, or not just the idea, I should say, the legal precedent for it. Basically, the idea is that if you are born in America, you have automatic citizenship granted to you, or at the very least, if you were born to an American citizen anyways, outside of the United States.
New log entry. I have found some human remains. The time of death seems recent. I don't like the look of the marks on the bodies. Something killed them with mindless brutality.
Anyways, if you are born to an American citizen while you are actually like outside of the United States, it's just like, you know, you're going on a vacation with your mother with your wife who's pregnant, or your girlfriend who's pregnant effectively, you know, and you know, you're out of the country, you're in Europe, you're somewhere in Mexico, maybe in Japan, wherever it is, and you happen to give birth there. You know, your child is given birthright citizenship by the fact that you were born to someone who's already a citizen. You know, stuff like that. Trump wants to end that. He wants to make it so that way, and he wants to end it in a fashion that way people will...
Oh yes, the perfect weapon to deliver the Emperor's justice.
Let's see, what's... Yeah, I thought so. That's how you reload that. Anyways, he wants to end that. And the reason why he wants to end it, from what I can tell, is that he wants to make it so that way people who have been here for 2 years or whatever no longer can be here anymore. You know, can no longer be citizens, and they can just be swooped up and picked up and completely deported from the country. This is like such an unconstitutional variant that even a Reagan judge.
Creature of chaos, can you withstand my faith? ancient Imperial ship infested by chaos. So be it. Let's cleanse the taint then.
Yeah, so a judge appointed by the Reagan era basically says that this is like a clear unconstitutional issue that is just so incredibly, like, just such a set in stone thing for him that the question is very clear. Alrighty, okay, that's what that is now. So, you know, and such a set in stone thing for him that means that this is basically the most unconstitutional act that he's ever seen.
New log entry. I found a room tainted by the filth of chaos. There's also a tech priest maintenance shrine with a functioning cogitator. It could contain information on how I could turn off the Vox jammer.
Okay.
I found new information. There's an emergency cogitator nearby where I could turn off the jamming signals.
So yeah, for all intents and purposes, the fact that he's trying to do this is such an insane act. I mean, why exactly is he trying to engage with this? Obviously, it's based on xenophobic efforts to declare people who are immigrants coming into the country.
Open the door.
It is in the walls now. Everywhere. Taint. In the machines.
By the Emperor. What foul abomination is this? A talking servitor. It might be mind-locked, but this is still unusual.
You know, he's even trying so far as to declare any immigrant that's coming into America, south of the border, to be an enemy combatant. Using the what is it? The clause in the Constitution to basically declare.
Well met, heretics. It is time for you to die.
Unleash
For the Emperor.
You know. So yeah, he's trying to basically declare any and all people who come into the. And, you know, the Enemy Combatants Act was basically an effort to declare people who are soldiers, invaders, and so on and so forth as here illegally in such a fashion that it will constitute a military response.
I found a wreck in the hangar. It is a vessel used by the Space Marines. What are they doing here?
So, you know, it's such a blatant effort, honestly.
I'm not yet worthy of the Emperor's gaze.
It's honestly such a blatant effort to institute xenophobia. This is like straight up 2025 flavor. So you have to wonder.
Finally, that's the cogitator that will disable the jammer.
So you have to wonder exactly why it is Trump is doing this.
I couldn't turn off the teleportation jammer, but the Vox should be fine now. Captain Von Winter, can you hear me?
Inquisitor, finally! I thought we'd lost you.
It would have been quite convenient for you, I suppose.
Trust me, I'm on your side. I'm not saying I don't want my ship back, but who would clear my name if you died in battle?
Your loyalty is quite admirable, Captain.
So yeah, you have to wonder why is he doing this beyond trying to placate his theocratic loyalists? And this is basically an effort to institute a theocracy in this country. I mean, this is part of the plan, if you were, to quite literally start designating anyone and everyone that they don't like as an enemy combatant. And they're starting with immigrants, first and foremost. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, all things considered. Then, of course, there's his effort to dismantle FEMA, which I'll talk about in a second.
Our Argos have picked up a Vox signal not far from your location. It is transmitting on an Imperial channel. It could be important.
I'm on my way there.
You know, the whole thing with FEMA, like, there were things wrong with FEMA that I think should be ironed out, that could be used in such a sense. But basically what he's doing is that he's trying to get rid of the entire system entirely. Which I guess, like, makes sense from a conservative standpoint, but for all intents and purposes, it is completely unhinged. There's an unhinged response for all intents and purposes, and there's really no reason for him to do it the way he's doing it. So. You know, beyond the fact that he's just trying to placate his xenophobic base. And I say that by and large because FEMA ends up engaging in a lot of disaster relief, but they also end up responding to a lot of emergencies regarding immigrants.
By the Emperor!
What have you found down there, Inquisitor?
Some unlucky members of an Imperial retinue. This is a shrine, dedicated to the ruinous powers. Somebody really wants his dark wishes fulfilled.
In other words, there's something on that ship that requires human sacrifice. Wonderful.
No. And like I said, there are problems with FEMA, don't get me wrong. Like, for a fact that there are people who quite by and large that are just trying to make money off of it. There's mismanagement of funds going on here and there. There are issues with it that are a problem, you know? But the fact of the matter is that FEMA is very important for managing funds and directing resources to respond to disaster relief. So to try and partition disaster relief out based on conditions is just cruel and unusual.
Filth.
Not only is it cruel and unusual, it doesn't really make any sense to do so, other than just being a completely, like, just belligerent effort, you know?
A holy censor. This must be a sign that I'm on the right path.
Pause that and do up your laundry.
Oh yeah, sure. Rather do
Bud,
that.
come here. Come on.
That's a moment for the stream, I guess. Yeah, so I gotta go ahead and do my laundry. I'll do this in a second here. Or rather, I think I'll just do my laundry and simply talk right now. Since I'm at a point in time where we need to actually do this. So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, problems with FEMA that need to be ironed out. The fact that they're doing stuff like, for example, telling people to go into hotels and then, like, saying that they can't really do anything about the disaster relief, which is like, why'd you force people out of their homes to go to a hotel if you can't really do anything? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. resources and getting people on the right track. Obviously streamlining communications. But for all intents and purposes, that's what is needed. You don't need, I fucking seriously, unless the meat is yours, you need to get rid of it. It needs to be streamlined and made more efficient. That's what the entire purpose of the Doge efficiency, of the Doge thing is supposed to be. However, at least that's what's stated to be. However, the real purpose of Doge is to just simply transfer a bunch of wealth to the oligarchs and to people with money. That's the real purpose behind it. It's not there to make efficiency, because if it was, it would have been attempt to efficientize FEMA. But no, Trump's just getting rid of it. And what's he going to replace it with? Well, he says the states will do it. Well, unfortunately, the states can't, not all the states make enough money to be able to fund and manage their own relief efforts. They rely on FEMA for federal funding of those relief efforts. They rely on federal resources for those relief efforts. And most of those relief efforts, most of the states that require the relief effort of something like FEMA to be red states, which is the most ironic thing ever. Trump wants to get rid of FEMA because it's mismanaging a bunch of shit, because it's mismanaging a bunch of funds and whatnot. And yet, for all intents and purposes, all it's going to do is form red states, the very states that voted for Trump. Especially considering the fact that we're now entering into unprecedented weather conditions of natural disasters having an increased threshold due to climate change, which is also something that Trump doesn't believe. He also believes it's a Chinese hoax. It's literally everything that Trump did for this election in terms of trying to get more control over their states is just going to make it so that way the any kind of funds or any kind of relief effort is going to be done through private businesses, which they're going to transactionally make in an effort to make money on people. The problem is, of course, that any kind of disaster relief effort is just going to bankrupt most of these companies. For example, there was an insurance company. I can't remember the exact details of the name now, but there was an insurance company who tried to respond to all the insurance claims of people having their windows broken after a fucking hurricane, and they couldn't. They literally couldn't. It would have bankrupted them to do that. So they had to hand over all the funding for that to government relief efforts on the federal level. So yeah, it's you have to wonder, how much do these corporations really understand the fact that things like government infrastructure, federal funding infrastructure is needed in order for them to maintain stability? So getting rid of FEMA is an effort for them to siphon money from people into the economy, but it's only going to hurt them in the long run. So it's how exactly is this going to help FEMA? It's really not. There really isn't any kind of help that's going to be given in this regard. So yeah, it just seems like a really dumb-ass move as far as I'm concerned. It's like one of those moves that you think might actually be popular, or you think might actually be worth something or whatever, or it might actually maintain some form of legitimacy over it. But no, it's just a dumb-headed, bull-headed move in an effort to solve a problem by putting a bull in a china shop. And thinking that the bull can go ahead and manage everything and reorganize everything and make the china shop more efficient, and the bull is just going to break it. So yeah. I was seeing which one of these was my pajama pants. No, it was the other one. So yeah, it's very clear to me that things aren't really going to be going very well this week. You know, like yeah. And eventually, at some point in time in his like effort to do all of this, he's going to try to strip people of their religious liberties and stuff like that. He's going to start going after anyone who isn't a particular type of Christian, since he's already going after many of those I heard before. Because this is again all in an effort to play by the whole Project 2025 thing. Most people seem to think that Project 2025 is pure theocracy, and while that is the case to some degree, there's also a lot of efforts to engage in wealth transference. Because the people behind Project 2025 are like religiously motivated freaks who, for the most part, just want to have everyone working under them because they are like motivated by the the notion of the Protestant work ethic to such an extreme, which it's like, and when I say to such an extreme, what I mean by it is that they want to have your retirement funding. They don't want you to have any kind of retirement. They want everyone to work under their thumb forever until they die, and then after you die, then into the kingdom of God. That is a strange, lunatic notion of work, honestly. I mean, for all intents and purposes, people might consider me lazy, and I get that. But it should be noted that whether or not I'm lazy or not shouldn't mean anything when you're coming across the fact that people are quite literally being conditioned to work until they die for the benefit of private corporate interests. Simply because of religious freaks who think that everyone should work under thumb like serfs. So yeah. Let's look at inventory real quick for a second here. Okay. Adds extra XP. Okay then. Alright. I mean, it should be your choice whether or not you want to do stuff like that, It should be your choice as to whether or not you want to,
I was correct. I am undoubtedly on the right path.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing, I'm just distracted. You finished your laundry?
Yeah.
That's great, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on stream, right?
Where does pants go to?
Oh, those are my those are my pajama pants. I put those on when I'm like.
Are you down to your last pair?
What?
Are you down to your last pair? You said you need more sweats before, right?
I have sweats at home and whatnot. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just like some of my sweats are getting kind of ragged and whatnot. They need
Okay.
to replace. That's what it
Well,
is.
we'll be home soon, and you'll have your own things. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh yeah, sure. Alright, sure. Yeah. My brother just came in as underwear for some reason. It's kind of weird, but whatever. anyways, yeah, it's like you should be able to simply be dedicating that to yourself. You shouldn't be forced to have that based on the decisions of someone else who's religiously motivated. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Uther is a particular individual right there. So yeah. But anyways, my ultimately speaking, it should be up to the person in particular, not someone who wants to just, you know, have that for you, have that for everyone, regardless of their own thoughts and ideas on the matter. So yeah, there is a bit of an issue going on here, of course. But anyways, that was really all I kind of wanted to talk about with regards to what's going on
I
there.
have found a corpse of an Imperial soldier. I'll take his data slate. It could contain a recording that could shed some light on what happened here.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about by and large? Let me check my, let me check a few things here real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, that was about it. There's a few other things here and there that I'll probably end up engaging with, but not too much. Considering that, well, things are going to be going pretty south at some point in time. Hold on. But yeah, I guess we'll watch a video at some point in the stream, maybe, that will go over quite a bit of this and discuss how much this is impacting things. So let's see. What? Oops. Oh yeah, there was the Elon Musk Nazi salute. So, which was obviously a Nazi salute, but done in the funniest, most fucked up way, and how he fucked everything, and how he fucked that up, which makes me wonder how seriously.
I found the body of a fallen Adeptus Astartes.
What? Did you just say that there was a dead space marine down there?
He must have been a member of that unlucky Imperial reconnaissance team I found.
Allow me to clarify that. You only found pieces of them. So it'll be just you against something that tore apart one of the mightiest champions of the Imperium.
Don't jump to conclusions just yet, Captain. It could easily be more than one creature.
Yeah. And not to mention, he's not exactly a named character. I mean, come on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's kind of weird, honestly, how much Musk is,
Die.
how much Musk is feathering into this whole, you know, trying to appease the Nazi crowd, really. I say it's kind of weird because, like, there really shouldn't be this much effort on Elon Musk doing what he's doing, but I guess he really just wants to be accepted, and this is the only group that will really accept him. the degree that he's doing so. So I don't know. Ah, okay, I see. Okay. Okay, now. Yeah. Which I don't know is like if it's funny or pathetic, really. Like, is it pathetic that he's trying to get this group to like him as much as he is? Or is it funny because of how pathetic he is?
Come at me, creatures. Come at me. The Emperor's light has found me. Greetings.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's how you do the map then.
Fight!
I want to check out some of these emotes.
Charge!
Okay. Oops, did not mean to do that at all. Well, obviously I did it, but, you know. Just seeing what the buttons do, I guess.
Team Sigma, this is Chaos Thorn speaking. Team Sigma, come in.
I'm afraid Team Sigma won't be responding anytime soon.
What? Who are you, and what are you doing there? Taking a stroll on the decks? By the Emperor!
Mind your manners. I am an Inquisitor, and I don't tolerate...
An Inquisitor? About bloody time. I thought your lot had followed Lord Klosterheim into the Dark Zone. Listen, we're under heavy attack in the control room, so I'd appreciate it if you could join us while we deliver the Emperor's will until our most triumphant death. Thorn out.
New log entry. I established connection with someone from an Imperial expedition on the ship, but he is clearly confusing me with someone else.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Sorry, what?
Yes, you were.
No?
You're trying to sneak a peek. You looked over thinking I was thinking.
You know you're being caught on the stream, right?
You're the one who's gay, not me. You're trying to check out your older brother. You weirdo.
That's not
Get back
what's
to your
going on, but
stream,
okay.
Sigma. Do your own thing. I'm trying to be private.
I just happened to see him while I'm going by because it's like his room is like right next to mine, but okay. So weird. You know,
He
he's
took a bonus
definitely
glance.
wanting me to see him naked, and he definitely wants me to do that, so I don't know. Although I think he's fucking with me. Just like, I don't know, my brother has a weird sense of humor, I guess.
Faith comes before fury.
It's Thorn again. Another wave of filth is on its way to face me in a glorious carnage. I want your help as soon as possible.
Careful, Thorn. That was dangerously close to insolence. And you are definitely confusing me with someone else.
You are an Inquisitor, which is enough for me right now. The whole deck is...
So you're heading to the control room to disable the jammer?
That's the plan, yes.
And who...
I kind of want to record the entire bit of conversation without it being like, you know, interrupted like that. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and like just let play itself out here.
It's Thorn again. Another wave of filth is on its way to face me in a glorious carnage. I want your help as soon as possible.
Careful, Thorn. That was dangerously close to insolence. And you are definitely confusing me with someone else.
You are an Inquisitor, which is enough for me right now. The whole deck is swarming with the local mongrel tribes, and they've sent their champions to rally the troops. I need you to eliminate these creatures. It will slow down the tribes.
So you're heading to the control room to
Okay.
disable the jammer?
That's the plan, yes.
And who is this Caius Thorn exactly?
Quite a character. Otherwise, I have no idea. He seems to think that I'm a member of his mysterious expedition.
If there is an expedition, they might be trapped in that monastery just like you.
Why do you think so?
I made a scan. That giant wreckage looks completely dead from here. No sign of any other voidcraft in the vicinity.
I've eliminated the first tribal champion. I wonder if these mongrel tribes are the descendants of the original inhabitants. I guess I'll know more soon.
There we go. Another Dominion armor. Banner radius increased by... Okay. Okay.
Thorn here. How are you faring, Inquisitor?
Considering that I'm alone, I'd say I'm making adequate progress.
Alone? Where's the rest of your detachment?
Under some smoldering wreckage.
Well, that's unlucky. But that's all the more demons for us to kill. Let us rejoice in the furious challenge. Thorn out. The filth of chaos has retreated from my door. Regrouping, I'd say. I take it you killed the tribal champions.
Yes, I purged the place.
How ambitious! I like that. But believe me, there is still much work to be done. You'll find a desecrated shrine next door that leads to the control room. Go there.
Kill the heretic. The moment of retribution is here.
Okay, I see. There's a dash forward then. Okay, I see. Okay, I see what that does now. I keep wanting to press X when I know that's not exactly the button that should do anything. So yeah.
Thorn, I've reached the end of this subdeck.
Good. There is the exit. Some of my men will meet you on the other side, but plenty of them have been captured. I'll need your help to set them free.
Okay. Yeah. Things are honestly really insane. I mean, it hasn't even been a week so far since Trump's taken office, and already he's like he's intending to do so much.
This is
damage.
just the calm before the storm. Take advantage of the respite before the wretches return. At least I can send you some reinforcements. The hostiles are keeping some of my scouts caged up in the desecrated sanctum. Free the guardsmen and bring them to the control room.
Reporting for duty, Inquisitor.
Are
Ready
you
to
the
fight!
fastest scions? Nah, totally not. Alright, okay. Let me go ahead and go through my inventory here real quick. Okay. I'll go with the experience gain here real quick. Let's see here. Oh yeah, definitely going to be doing that one there. So, yeah. I think I'll go with the HP regeneration here. So, yeah. Alright. So yeah.
New log entry. I'm entering the sanctum of the deck. It clearly used to be an imperial chapel, but the statues there are not familiar. When did this sacred fortress drift away from the light of the God Emperor?
Let's go ahead and go through this for a second, shall we? I need to modify my early estimate of the age of this magnificent ship. The pre-Thorian symbolism and content of the prayer book indicates ancient heritage sometime between the 35th and the 36th millennium. The potential connection to the age of apostasy indicates fascinating prospects. I must admit that some of the discoveries are unique, almost radical in nature, especially the pieces directly connected to Uther Tiberius and his sect. The adornments and other elements are clearly imperial in origin on the ship, but the details like the winged statues all suggest a cult that used to be imperial, but which has been lost or subsequently purged from the archive. The techno-archaeologist was baffled by the poor radium carbon results. This may be a rather bold statement since he lacks facial features, emotions, and soul, but he looked almost shocked. Damn his inconclusive results. He tried to argue about the age of this emperor forsaken derelict, but I'm certain about my analysis and I have big trouble. Nero about the scarlet apotheosis and the Imperium beyond was unsettling to say the least. The angel of death may growing more grim with each passing hour. May the Emperor have mercy upon our souls.
At your command. Hey, die, maggots, die!
We don't have much time, Inquisitor. Hurry up and take as many guardsmen with you as you can.
Ready to fight! Thank you, Inquisitor. By the Emperor, we are saved!
I got some more guards. Wonder if there's a way in which to increase the difficulty, honestly. This is like way too easy for me. This should be a lot more difficult. At least in my humble opinion, anyways.
Ready to fight! Move! Reporting for duty, Inquisitor. How can we serve you, Inquisitor?
The abhumans are banging their war drums, calling up the filth of chaos from the caverns of the ship. If you want to know what a real battle looks like, I suggest you join me as soon as you can.
Alright. We got some new stuff in here, so let's see what we got. Passion, suppression, regeneration, warp resistance. Okay. We go with that then. I'll figure out what passion is for a second though. In fact, let me look that up at the moment. Passion, Inquisitor, Martyr. Oh, okay. This basically allows them to do the whole same thing, the transformation, I guess you could say. So yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So yeah. Yeah, no. So I've already got 3 passive skill trees here going on at the moment. So let's see real quick. Critical hit chance to gain with range skills. Let's see real quick. Alright. Critical hit chance with range skills. Critical hit chance with range skills. 30% cooldown recovery for range skills with at least 1 second cooldown when fighting from cover. Okay. 5% range damage bonus against slowed, shocked, and stunned targets. 3% range damage bonus. Okay. I know I can just redo my skills if I wanted to, but I want to maximize them at the moment, so yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. Gotta go into this room here.
At your command.
Die, maggots, die!
What's that one? Ancient what? Plasma gun, huh? I think I'll keep myself. Let's see here. How much damage do I get for this one over the other one? I think I'll go vacillate between the plasma gun and the flamer here. Um, well, mostly keep the bolter ready. So yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Inquisitor, our Argos are starting to pick up huge waves of hostiles approaching your position. Can you hold them off on your own?
Captain, a long time ago, I made an oath to protect the Imperium, with no regard for my own life. Do you want to question my dedication?
So what is your plan?
My faith in the Emperor will protect me from the faithless. I was also planning to blast through the unclean with the devastating force of my weaponry.
I'll have the transport ship ready, just in case.
The moment of retribution is here.
This is your information center. Every alert or notification will show up here, like pending rewards, unspent skill points, cabal invites, etc. Also, you can see the ongoing investigations and priority assignments, and you can quickly continue them by selecting one. If you have an active booster, you can find more details about it here. If your cabal is to donate to the High Lords, it can be done here as well. Pour most of myself into range damage bonus, so yeah. And also into critical hits here, but yeah. I'll go ahead and do this one then. No, I guess I don't have any favor, so that's unfortunate. Oh, let's just go and continue here, shall we? Yeah. I'll probably see here. Probably stop once I get through this mission, and we'll go ahead and watch this flash fit video on this summary.
Your command.
So yeah.
Welcome to the Martyr, Inquisitor. Not exactly the army I had imagined, but reinforcements at last.
So you do realize now that I don't belong to your expedition?
I do, and I regret the confusion. We were not expecting any guests on this Emperor-forsaken wreck. And first I thought that you must belong to Klosterheim's retinue. That fool brought a whole army of busybodies and interrogators with him.
You must tell me everything about this man, his expedition, and the Martyr. But first, I'll disable the teleport jammer.
The cogitator that overrides the jammer is 2 hallways away, and the whole control deck is swarming with feral tribes. Why do you think I'm stuck in this hole? They're keeping us pinned down in here.
Time to turn the tide together, Sergeant.
Inquisitor, we have a problem.
Now is not a good time.
At your command. Onwards! Don't linger, guardsmen! For the Emperor!
Well then, that was a pleasant warm-up, wasn't it? But Inquisitor, I'm sure they will drag their filthy god here to help them out.
They're what?
We interrogated some of these tribesmen. They are all descendants of the original crew. Anyway, during centuries of drifting through the void, one of their generations forgot about our holy emperor and found new things to worship.
And what would this god be?
Madness incarnated, they call it. It could be anything, if you ask me, but nothing good.
At your command.
Inquisitor, listen to me. The monastery is...
I'm in the middle of something. Later.
Take it like a man, guardsmen.
Let's take a look at this cogitator. These records are disturbing. This martyr has a mind of its own.
Move! Move! Take it like a man, guardsman.
Oh, the thundering blast of weapons. I wish my brothers were here to hear this canticle of death.
Talking about brothers, which chapter do you belong to? I am not familiar with this iconography.
I am Sergeant Caius Thorm of the Stormwatcher Space Marines.
Explain. I don't know that chapter.
I would be truly disappointed if you did. Our existence is secret, our numbers are few, and our burden is terrible. We are the Watchers in the shadows, but rest assured, we are the sanctioned blades of the Calgary Conclave.
Doing what exactly?
Dying gloriously during classified inquisitorial missions. Could we talk about this later?
At your command.
Inquisitor, the monastery shows signs of...
Not now.
For the Emperor!
Okay, clearly taking my flamer off was a mistake there, so let's go ahead and put it back, shall we?
The Emperor's light has found me. For the Emperor!
You are truly doing the Emperor's work, Inquisitor. Keep it up. We've crushed their main forces. Let's move out and disable that jammer.
Before their what? Their god arrives?
Trust me, it is already close. I wonder what it looks like.
After we have disabled the jammer, we must find Lord Klosterheim.
Oh, yes. That two-faced hypocrite. I have already lost a battle brother because of him, and then he left me down here to die. But now, move!
Ready to fight!
Just gonna go ahead and go this way.
Oh, traitorous scum! Mockery to your honor! Perish, you filth! Ah!
Onwards! Don't linger, guardsmen! Take it like a man, guardsmen!
Inquisitor, what's happening down there? Are you all right?
I'm great. I've just killed a hellbrute, a twisted mockery of a space marine. Praise the Emperor. I also have an Imperial Space Marine with grievous wounds, and I want to bring him aboard our ship.
Inquisitor, listen to me. The monastery has turned on the warp drives, and it's ready to leave the star system. Disable the jammer now!
Ready to fight!
Alright.
I've disabled the teleport jammer. At least, I hope so.
Inquisitor, you must teleport back before the ship leaves. We don't know where it's headed, and worse, the Jella shields are probably compromised. Warp travel will kill you. Hurry up, you don't want to get stranded over there.
Inquisitor, are you all right?
I'm fine, Captain. I'm back on your ship, leaving the teleportarium as we speak. I need medical assistance down here for the Space Marine. What is happening to the Martyr?
It's preparing to enter the warp. I thought it was a derelict.
It is a derelict, Captain, which seems to attract the attention of both our allies and enemies. The Martyr is a mystery, but it is very much alive.
And your mystery ship is gone. What happens now?
I will notify the Caligari Conclave. Then we will wait and see.
Inquisitor, my astropath has sent your audio log to the Caligari Conclave, as you requested.
Let me guess. Another local warp surge manifestation swallowed the message whole?
No, actually. We have received an official follow-up on your report.
That must be a mistake. It's the Imperial bureaucracy. I wasn't expecting to hear from them for a few standard years.
I have no idea what we found out there, but it must be really important. See for yourself.
Inquisitor, we are raising your clearance level. You are henceforth authorized to listen to confidential information without facing immediate excommunication. Your discovery has greatly intrigued the Conclave. You have found a ghost of the past, Inquisitor. The Martyr had strong ties to the Inquisition, and as such, it is very important to us. We all thought that the Fortress Monastery had been destroyed, with the exception of Lord Inquisitor Klosterheim. He dedicated his life to finding the Martyr, only to disappear without a trace. And now, you have proof of both the existence of the Martyr and the whereabouts of Lord Klosterheim. We want answers. Continue this investigation. Evaluate the data, gather new clues, and find the Martyr. Hopefully with Lord Klosterheim on board, so he can explain his disappearance. We must remind you that this investigation requires absolute secrecy, and it will be your task, and your task alone.
Our task is to find a ghost ship in the vast expanses of the Imperium. How hard could it be?
The Space Marine I rescued was part of the expedition that found the Martyr somehow. If I can interrogate him, I'm sure he can help us.
That man is in stasis at the moment. He was torn into pieces. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a warrior of the Adeptus Astartes is not a simple mortal we can treat.
Indeed. We need a tech priest with unique skills and knowledge of the genetic materials of the Adeptus Astartes. We need a Magos biologist specialist, which could be difficult.
I come from a long line of rogue traders, Inquisitor. I know the secrets of this sector, and I can tell you where to find the tech priest you need. The Merciful Agony is a hospital fortress in the Chernobog system. It's also a secret research station of the Adeptus Mechanicus. You'll find a Magos Biologus there.
I already know about this. Alright, so all things considered, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my little skill points here real quick. This one. Skill point because of that, so good. Range damage bonus, 20% range damage bonus against targets further than 10 meters. Alright. Okay, nice. So we have a lot of points here, I guess, or a lot of access to stuff. So yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I guess I'm putting all this stuff in storage for right now. Just go ahead. Obviously, okay. Put that there. And yeah, okay, so it should be a little thing here, whatever. Okay. Medical chair, breathing chair. Legacy founding bonus, okay. I like the breathing chair a lot better, but that's just me. So yeah. There should be. Alright, here we go. I can sell all my stuff too now. Alright. Let me just sell everything here. There should be like a sell everything button here rather than just having me do it individually. But, you know. this real quick. Get that. No, I'm not gonna bother with that menu. Just real quick. Don't have a banner yet, so I'm not gonna bother doing that one then. Alright. Okay. Now I'm gonna be ending the game now, and we're gonna go ahead and check out a video at this point in time here, right? So yep. That was actually kind of fun. I did like playing this game when I played it on my friend's console, so I will be returning to this some other time during the stream, but for right now, let's just check out a Vosh video.
Bring me in.
Okay, very good. We signed some executive orders. They were very important in just about every case. And it will go through the
Oh
first
God,
one,
more?
please.
Yeah, of course more.
Do you want to? Yeah, Mr. President, this is an executive order on crypto. We're going to be. Oh, sorry, we're doing AI first. Sorry, Mr. President, this is an executive order on AI. We're basically announcing the administration's policy to make America the world capital in artificial intelligence and to dominate and to lead the world in AI.
Do you want to say your name, your full name?
David
and
Sachs,
serial?
AI and Crypto Czar.
David is one of the greatest in the world at AI. Most
Someone in the chat that says degenerative AI. That's so funny.
respected, probably.
Really actionable policy? Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't mind this if this was an effort to make it so that way AI is developed on a governmental level that is sophisticated and that is more or less indicative of actually improving AI, but this is just generative bullshit. This is just an effort to make it so that way corporate interests who want to use public and any form of art that's available to steal from artists to feed through their generative AI bullshit to be able to use to replace artists. That's all this is, so, you know.
So that should take us to the forefront, right?
Absolutely. We got to win.
Okay.
Thanks, I see it.
Thank you.
What a child, honestly. Like, there's no reason for him to show that. There's no reason for him to, like, show it like that. But he wants to have his signature be seen by everyone on an executive order. Even though he's literally seen, like, signing it himself. And people can see the pictures of him signing it. Like, what a child.
And this, David, is?
Yeah, this is the Crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going.
Cryptocurrency is such a scam right now. I mean, Jesus Christ. There is an effort to create crypto coins to get a lot of people to buy into the crypto coins, and then for the people who create them to effectively just dump them. To just sell off all their shares, to basically like devalue the crypto by selling off all the effort and all the ownership of it, thus devaluing the people who invested in that cryptocurrency massively. But that person makes a fuck ton of money off of it. It's a pyramid scheme. Crypto has become a pyramid scheme. The only crypto that actually isn't a pyramid scheme is Bitcoin, and even that is questionable.
Right?
Absolutely.
These are literally just virtue signals to the business class, like which sectors the United States government is going to use its tax money to bolster and reinforce and enrich. You know, that's it.
Yep.
None of this means anything. No, it means a lot. It means like it's the signal, you know? Yes, the government exists to siphon money from taxpayers into certain industries. These industries are now on the up and up, you know?
If this was an executive order to make a government-issued cryptocurrency that can be used in conjunction with the dollar to bolster the dollar, that would actually be significant towards the legitimacy of cryptocurrency, at least in terms of the United States. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening here. It's just an effort to legitimize the businesses therein.
All right, David, that's for you. Thanks.
Again, complete trial. Like, wants to share with everyone. See, I signed it.
You find
I
that
signed it,
exciting?
everyone.
It might not be exciting, but we're going to make a lot of money for the country.
Thank you, sir.
And so is David. You have to check him out. There's nobody like this guy. They said, how did you get David Sachs? How did you do that? And he's doing it for the country more than anything else. So we appreciate it, David. Thank you very much.
This is an executive order establishing a presidential commission, an advisory commission on science and technology.
Good.
That's
What was that one?
Commission on Science and Technology. Good. We're establishing a presidential commission, an advisory commission on science and technology.
Good.
bets on a national crypto reserve. He has literally said that he's going to do that. The strategic Bitcoin bets on a national crypto reserve. He has literally said that he's going to do that. The strategic Bitcoin reserve, i.e., billions of your taxpayer dollars being dumped into Bitcoin to increase the value of the coins already held by other people.
Yeah, and then as soon as he leaves office, he's going to sell off the value of that and then make a shit ton of money, which will then devalue the crypto, and everyone else loses their fucking money as a result of that. Like, you know, it's a pump and dump scheme.
Do you want to explain that a little bit?
The basic idea is to get together top people from government, the private sector, technology industry, as well as educational institutions, to make sure that America maintains its leadership position with respect to science and technology development in the years ahead.
Good. That's great.
Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum encouraging departments and agencies in your government, including the Department of the Interior, to promote federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina.
I love the Lumbee tribe. So this is their first big step, right?
This would be a huge step for them, sir.
Yeah, they were with me all the way. They were great. North Carolina, Lumbee tribe.
Without knowing anything about this, I'm going to guess that this is like a tiny tribe of like 6 people that decided the best way for them to get recognition would be to go like hardcore pro-Trump, and they're getting their payout. That would be my guess. I don't know whether that's true or not. That's just my guess. That's exactly what it is? Okay.
Okay, we'll send...
Already on Wikipedia, it's like Lumbee. Lumbee are a mixed-race community primarily located in Robson County, North Carolina, which claims to be descended from myriad indigenous tribes who once inhabited the region. Like early historical references, archaeological evidence reveals that the area now known as Robson County has been continuously occupied by Native people for at least 14,000 years. Every named area found elsewhere in pre-European contact. North Carolina also present in the archaeological record Robson County. All modern vicinities of Lumbee occupation contain numerous archaeological sites as recent as the late woodland period, and oral traditions about the history of some Lumbee families extend back as far in Robson County as the mid-1700s. Okay, that's really weird. Like, it says it goes back for at least 14,000 years, yet it says, like, all these people and archaeological sites in there refers to, like, mid-1700s references in Robson County. Like, okay, that's very weird. In 1725 by John Herbert. Oh, okay, that's what it's referring to. Like, some unrecognized organization identify as being Lumbee. One, the United States Lumbee Nation of North Carolina in America, based in. Okay. So this is an effort to federally recognize the actual these organizations, rather than just to federally recognize the tribes themselves. Like, the tribes exist, but the organizations of the tribes themselves need to, like, actually have federal recognition to get any kind of federal grant or like government recognition of the tribe. Okay, like I don't care. That's probably not what's going on there, Bosch, but whatever.
You'll send them a copy of that?
Yes, sir.
That would be great.
Next, we have a set of.
I'm just gonna skip him doing the whole like showing it just, you know, like a child there, because I can't stand that. It's just like, what are you doing, Trump? Seriously? And it's funny too, like he's using like one pen to sign every executive order and then throwing the pen out, I guess. What a waste. Like, does the pen only contain that much ink for one executive order? Makes no sense.
Pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
By exercising the First Amendment rights, he obviously means harassing and threatening and literally trying to publicly dox people who were going into abortion clinics, and you know, who are also pro-choice people. You know, I'll be honest, I'm not pro-choice, to be perfectly honest, even though I do support the idea of abortions being used for medical purposes, obviously, because, you know, abortion is used as a medical procedure to save women's lives, as well as to make it so that way women who give birth don't give birth in a fashion that more or less would ruin their fertility rates, as well as a number of other issues such as the inviolability of the fetus. Sometimes the fetus is stillborn, you know, isn't developing at all, and is indicated as stillborn. You know, you need an abortion procedure for that. You know, obviously, like, abortion procedure isn't the only way in which to get rid of that, but abortion procedure is a medical procedure for all intents and purposes. So I support it being used. You know, but you know, because I still don't consider myself pro-choice due to that, but I'll probably make a video at some point illustrating my stance on that.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted.
Terrible.
Many of them are.
You don't even know, he doesn't even know the details of these individuals that have been prosecuted. I don't know the details of them who've been prosecuted, but I know for a fact that, like, the only way in which the only reason why the government would actually go with people who would be pro-choice or whatever is because they would dox and harass and just be very violent towards people who are pro-choice, like pro-lifers. That's the reason why it is that a lot of them get prosecuted in a lot of ways, And I'm just spitballing that, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the case.
Are elderly people? They should not have been prosecuted.
Wait, what?
They should not have been prosecuted.
Terrible.
Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this.
Oh, that's interesting. During the 2020 U.S. presidential election campaign, then-candidate Joe Biden announced on October 8, 2020, his support for federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe by pledging his backing to the Lumbee Recognition Act. 2 weeks later, Donald Trump also announced his support for federal recognition of the tribe via the same legislation. The following weekend, he held a rally there to shore up support among Native Americans. During the rally, Trump stated, "The Lumbee Nation is forgotten no more." Trump's rally was significant in that it was the first official visit to Robeson County by a sitting U.S. president in history. Historically, most of Robeson County had trended Democrat. However, Trump carried the county narrowly in 2016. In 2020, the margin of victory for Trump increased dramatically, probably the same for 2024. Many attribute this swing in Trump's favor to his visit and explicit support for recognition of the tribe by the federal government. I guess it shows doing rallies makes a difference.
Yeah, it does, and it kind of shows that, the idea of the Lumbee tribe being just 6 people is just nonsense,
They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now?
Some are out of custody.
It's ridiculous. Okay.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades.
Well, we'll see if anything exciting comes of it. I guess this is mostly going to be distractions.
And everything will be revealed. Okay. Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, a U.S. judge temporarily blocks the birthright citizenship order. Do you have any reaction?
No, obviously we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
That's the Reagan era judge, for the record. He's probably going to say a bunch of nonsense that's not even true of the Reagan judge. Probably trying to call him liberal or some shit like that when he was literally appointed by Reagan.
Mr. President.
And there's no surprises with that judge.
Mr. President,
85-year-old Reagan-appointed judge.
Have now said they will vote against Pete Hegseth. Are you worried about his confirmation and your reaction?
No, and no surprises there. It's too bad. It's the way it is. Too bad.
And when would you adjourn Congress to make recess appointments, Mr. President?
Well, I'd take a look at that. I'd listen to John Thune. He's doing a fantastic job. We're moving along. The Democrats are trying to delay government, as they always do. They can't help themselves. Even John Ratcliffe, who's very, very strong.
Can you imagine how based it would be if Democrats talked like this at all when Republicans are so violently obstructionist? Like, Obama was also silent about it toward the end of his... He was just like, I hope that I can reach a deal with the Republican Party. I hope Mitch McConnell likes this one. The Republicans can be as aggressively obstructionist as they want, and the Democrats do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's one thing to say, like in the chat there, that they go low, we go high, in the sense that we're not going to go ahead and, stoop down to their level to be as obstructionist to them as they are to us or whatever, in such a fashion. There's one way in which to take the high road in that regard. It's a completely different thing to just not say anything, to try to like appease these people when they just will never be appeased in any particular fashion. It's like I get that Democrats are very skeevy, very conniving, and very much like into doing the whole bullshit gestures that don't really mean anything at the end of the day when they're going legislatively, just simply do the things that they're going to do, which service corporate capital interests over that of the actual people. But it's like, come fucking on. At some point in time, you've got to go ahead and actually say something about how obstructionist the Republicans are being, to the point where it's just maliciousness. You got to point out the maliciousness, but they never do. They never do. They're impotent in a lot of ways in that regard. It's just really frustrating.
Very popular and liked by the Democrats.
Talk like what an idiot. They do talk about it. They just do intelligent ways. Zigabiz, this is cope to a degree that I no longer find tolerable. We can't allow this level of liberalism to fester in my community anymore. This mindset destroyed the country. You killed the country. They 100% talk about it. You can't gaslight me, okay? Democrats will be like, yeah, Democrats do go hard on Republican corruption, and then they'll link to Joe Biden, like, at the end of the 4-minute press conference he can manage before the adrenochrome, like, taps out, he turns away, and then a reporter asks, how do you feel about Republicans over, like, for the 1 millionth time? And Joe Biden turns back to the camera and smiles slowly and goes, okay, and then turns around and walks out. And people are like, see? He's still got that sauce in him. Look at this like Instagram clip from AOC, the only Democrat in the House who does or says anything apparently. Like, come on, you're not getting me on this, okay? We know the Democrats are pathetic.
I guess he gets a lot of Democrat votes. That's taking a long time, and it shouldn't be taking a long time. They're maxing everything out so they
it's
can...
sad the only effective way to talk about it sound like Trump. Zigabiz, you have been, I'm going to be honest with you, your chat logs go back years. You've been here too long to be this stupid on this issue. It's not about talking like Trump. It's about aggressively using the bully pulpit to convince people of your position, which they don't do. It's about being honest about how bad your enemies are. The problem with what Trump says isn't that he's aggressive or brash or mean about it. The problem is that he's lying and a fascist. If you...
Yeah, that is the issue at hand, really, when it comes down to it. Like, it's one thing for Democrats to not be as maliciously obstructionist as Republicans have been since Obama has taken office. It's like, that is laudable to a point, it is laudable to a point, but only up until the Republicans actually want to do some really bad things. That they actually want to take away birthright citizenship, take away, getting rid of FEMA, effectively trying to do tariffs, which by and large would destroy the country, in an effort to do so. That's when they should be obstructionists in a lot of ways, because that's what the other party should be doing. They should be doing obstructionist things to the other party that more or less would cause harm and massive degradation of the wealth of the average person. The Republicans should also do the same thing to Democrats under that context, but they're not, obviously. The Democrats are just simply coasting by, taking that donor money, taking that effort to actually get funding for their party, and just maintaining the cozy relationships they've got without actually doing any kind of governance that helps the average person. Well, the Republicans, their entire thing is, let's make everything possibly as worse as it possibly can be for black and brown people, so that way white people will actually feel empowered and will vote for us. Like, what? All the Democrats are just simply coasting by, getting that donor money as much as possible. It just makes no sense for them to act that way.
If you weren't lying and weren't a fascist, then the stuff you said, even if it was with roughly this tone, would be fine. You can do other tones too, but you have to be aggressive with it.
Delay everything as much as possible.
Does Senator Finn support an effort to use recess appointments if you choose to do that?
I'd be willing to use recess appointments. It's up to John, and we'll see. John Thune's great guy, great senator.
They're going to have to use recess appointments for RFK. There's no way RFK Jr. gets through without a recess appointment. There's no way. Apparently, they've actually set a date for the Senate confirmation hearing for, blanking on a name as I always do, Tulsi Gabbard. So it looks like they're actually going to try to go through with Tulsi Gabbard without a recess appointment?
Stuff inside out and backwards, but I would use recess appointments if he wants to do that. Absolutely. The Democrats are just delaying. They always delay.
Mr. President, you spoke with the Saudi Crown Prince yesterday.
Who?
By the way, Tulsi Gabbard, like, it should be noted that
from Democratic Congress.
This is what ex-aides are saying effectively, you know, with regards to her views on Russia, you know. It's just very, very obvious that, you know, her being the director of national intelligence is a boon to Russia. Now, again, I always, was very skeptical of the whole Trump-Russia connection, primarily because it was all based on accusations about how Russia swayed the election results by buying a bunch of ads in 2016 and helped Trump get into office, which the FBI and the CIA both investigated that claim and found that there was a negligible amount of influence that those ads and that stuff actually had in terms of influencing the results of the election. You know, was it a coincidence that Trump had a bunch of people who were found guilty of having connections to the Kremlin? I honestly think so, because I don't think Trump was really interested in trying to service Vladimir Putin in any way. I think he was just interested in servicing himself. And so he was getting whoever the hell he wanted on his team. Just a lot of them happen to be Russian stooges because, well, Trump is a moron who doesn't vent his people, you know? But now it's become very, very clear that that Putin and the Kremlin in general has more or less learned from that mistake. They've learned from those issues. And it's become very obviously clear that, well, they're trying to get a more of a hand on this. I mean, let me go ahead and point something out here real quick. Joe Stein, Putin dinner. So Joe Stein, quite literally, this is what I'm talking about, how they learned here. Joe Stein is sorry, somehow this isn't letting me see it because, you know, NBC is being idiotic. Let's just actually open up the image here. Yeah, so Joe Stein, so it was Putin at, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4 people removed from Putin. You know, Michael Flynn, him being there is pretty bad. You know, all these other people here are pretty weird. She's right next to Putin's spokesman. There's Putin's chief of staff. It's and she tried to play this off by saying, oh, Putin was just one of the people at the table, and I couldn't really hear him speaking. Bitch, come on, seriously? You were literally next to Putin's spokesman. What kind of defense is that nonsense? And this is how they've learned. They've learned by not buying ads, but by actually trying to influence people who are politically motivated to either pull votes or who would potentially be in the cabinet of Trump. And that's what they did with Tulsi Gabbard. So, you know, it's unfortunate. I actually supported Tulsi in 2016 to a large extent. And it's I even supported her to run in 2020, but it's very clear that she is a turncoat. She is very much propagandized and compromised in a lot of ways. So I just don't trust her because of that.
Saudi Crown Prince, how you spoke?
The Democrats are just delaying. They always delay.
Mr. President, you spoke with the Saudi Crown Prince yesterday.
Who?
The Saudi Crown Prince. How was the call?
Great.
And they said $600 billion they're going to invest.
600. I'll ask them for $1 trillion.
You said you're going to ask them for $1 trillion. Will Saudi Arabia be the first foreign country you will visit since they invest in that much?
Well, if they do that, I would, yeah.
I can't really understand her question. She has too much of an echo in her voice. I can't really hear what she's saying.
I would be glad to do that. I did it, as you know, 4 years ago. We did $450 billion, meaning the money all goes to American companies, and they purchase jets and they purchase computers and everything else. And we did $450 billion, and I guess we're at 650. And I'll see if I can talk him into it.
I guess he's talking about Saudi Arabia or whatever, the Saudi Arabian prince and what he's been doing with that. So I haven't really been keeping up with that. I do not like the Saudis at all. So politically speaking, I don't give a shit. He can go die in the hill as far as I care. The fact that he's actually praising the Saudis in any particular fashion whatsoever is really troubling. So.
Again, you showed great confidence in Steve Witkoff. Why you said that you doubt that the ceasefire in Gaza will hold since you appraised his
Well, no, I think he's great, but it's a very tricky place. It's very tricky. We'll see. And if something does happen, they will not be happy.
Sir, follow up on that one. In terms of Steve Witkoff, are you going to put him in charge of Iran's strategy, and do you want him talking directly with the Iranians?
No, but he's certainly somebody I would use. He's done a fantastic job. He's a great negotiator.
I was trying to see the actual updates because it looked like the numbers was going up faster than what was actually updating as. But no, this is the actual number, I guess. So.
He's a very good person, a very popular person. Gets along with people. I have great negotiators. They have no personality whatsoever, and then I have some that do. Steve has a wonderful way about him, and people like him, and even in this case, both sides like him. And he was able to make a deal. That deal would have never been made without Steve. The Biden people couldn't make the deal. They were working on it for a year and a half. They couldn't make a deal. We got it done prior to the inauguration. We said it has to be before the inauguration.
Are there any more good sound bites from this?
Hold, but if it doesn't hold.
Davos Forum, again, that NATO countries should spend 5% of GDP on defense.
Yeah.
The United
5% of GDP on defense. That's so crazy, dude. I can't believe he said that. Every country, 5% of GDP on defense? Oh my god. That's so crazy. There's no way that's happening. Not even we could sustain that. Maybe mostly we couldn't sustain that.
States.
I'm not really familiar with numbers and economics to really say anything one way or the other, honestly. But 5% does sound like a really high number to the point that it does sound very unsustainable. So I can't really say definitively.
Don't spend 5%.
Well, that's Cold War respect. No, that's more than Cold War respect. That's insane. It's insane.
It should also apply to the United States.
We're protecting them, you know. They're not protecting us. We're protecting them. So I don't think we should be spending. I'm not sure we should be spending anything, but we should certainly be helping them. But they should up their 2% to 5%. Yeah.
Mr. President, you said earlier during your speech at Davos.
But like I said, it has nothing to do with real policy. It's just signaling that we're going to divert more taxpayer dollars into the MIC. You know, that's it. There are no politics behind this administration except how do we weaponize.
When he says MIC, it means military industrial complex. For those of you who are listening and don't really know what that acronym means.
Culture war talking points to divert more wealth from the planet into the hands of like 5 people. That's it. That's the only thing. I'm going to keep saying it, and it's going to keep being true. Everything else is a distraction.
That you would like to see interest rates come down. How much would you like to see them come down before you talk
I'd
with
like
Powell?
to see them come down a lot, and oil prices
0%.
will come down. And when oil prices come down, everything's going to be cheaper for the American people, and actually for the world, but for the American people. So I'd like to see oil prices come down. And when the energy comes down, that's going to knockout.
No, EOs have legal authority nuts. It's just executive orders are only operate within the purview of the executive branch's powers, which refer to the administrative state and the ability to execute on and enforce existing laws. But there are limits to what you can do with budgets because budgets have to be run by Congress, and a lot of stuff is subject to like review from, you know, like it can be challenged through the courts. But they're not toothless at all. The executive branch has a lot of power on its own, more so than it has historically, I would say, especially with regard to the fact that you don't even need Congress to declare war anymore. Well, you know, military spending was 10% of GDP during the Cold War. Really? That doesn't sound right, but I guess I could be wrong. I'll look at it later, but either.
Hold on. Let's look at that right now real quick. Since Vosh can't look at it then, we'll look at it now. Military spending, GDP during Cold War. 3.6%. So that guy's totally full of shit. Like, during the Cold War, military spending averaged around 3.6% of global GDP. The U.S., the United States, and the Soviet Union were the main drivers of this military spending. Okay, then let's see what was the U.S. GDP percentage spending during the Cold War. Oh, okay. So during the Cold War, the United States typically spent around 5 to 10% of its GDP on defense, with the percentage fluctuating depending on the specific period of events, but generally averaging around 6% throughout the Cold War era. Okay, so the average was 6%. The highest they got was 10%. So the guy's wrong, and he's kind of right, but in a sort of technical reference, So high levels during peak tensions, Korean War, and early years of the Vietnam, significantly reaching up to 13%. That was the highest they got. So this is only right in the most technical of sense, but the average here seems to be about 6%. Let's see what the sources are here real quick. Contract, NATO, milestones, International Monetary Fund, and U.S. military expenditure during the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. Okay. So these are probably fairly well off and understandably like trusted sources, because I doubt the IMF would just make shit up about history back then like that. Like, what would be the point of doing that? It wouldn't make any sense to do that. An Office of the Historian, Milestones History, U.S. Foreign Relations. Okay, this is a history.state.gov thing there. Okay. So the guy is only right in the most technical of sense, but because it's like he's saying that 10% on average, though, no, that's not correct.
A lot of the inflation, that's going to automatically bring the interest rates down.
Are you worried that you said that you would demand? Are you worried that there's too much going on at once if you're trying to bring interest rates down, get the economy back going?
No, it just works that way. I mean, it's just economically works that way. When the oil comes down, it'll bring down prices. Then you won't have inflation, and then the interest rates will come down.
Oil prices going down doesn't really matter anymore. What is this? What? Like, oil prices going down will make certain prices go down, but won't make every price go down in the economy. It will make fuel and transportation go down, but like companies can just keep selling the oil and selling stuff at the same price that they've always been doing so, regardless if it comes down or not. Like, the price of things is not dictated by how much oil there is. The price of things is dictated quite literally by a multitude of facets in the economy that are far too numerous to name.
You said that you would demand.
But someone like Trump and conservatism in general doesn't really allow for the ability to think of complex thoughts and reasoning. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. That's been the case since people like Thomas Sowell and and the Mises Institute and a bunch of other conservative slash right-leaning libertarian organizations began propagandizing individuals like Reagan and fucking Milton Friedman to us in an effort to simplify the American conservative mindset into a dumbing down mindset, in which they ignore the complex facets of reality in an effort to sell them on simplified narratives that are just incorrect.
Then you won't have inflation, and then the interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would.
Do you expect
I would put in a strong statement.
Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?
Yeah.
Are you going to talk to Powell about this and bringing the rates down?
At the right time, I would.
Sir, do you plan to meet with any of the people you pardoned that were participated in the January 6, 2021 attack? Do you plan to meet with any of them or meet with them at the White House?
I don't know. I'm sure that they probably would like to. I did them something important, but what they did is they were protesting a crooked election. And, you know, I mean, people understand that also. And they were treated very badly. Nobody's been treated like that. So I'd be open to it, certainly. I don't know of anything like that, but I think they're going to meet in some of the congressmen, women.
I can't believe the Democrats fumbled the ball so badly on that. Like, they did the whole January 6th commission, which honestly has a great amount of information. I suggest everyone check out the January 6th Commission website and, you know, the actual videos and the proceedings on that. There's a great amount of info that really speaks to how bad it was in terms of how coordinated the whole thing at the end of the day was. But when it comes down to it, Democrats didn't even do anything with that. They didn't try to use the information to prosecute from. They didn't try to bury him legally 6 feet under into the ground in a hole in the ground at Guantanamo Bay, effectively. Like, they didn't do any of that stuff. And of course, I'm just drawing analogies, but my point is that they should have thrown the book at him for what he did, but they didn't. And because of that, we're here. We're here as him with being in the Oval Office. So yeah, thank you very much, Democrats, for being fucking useless. Useless liberals. Every time, man.
I was convinced to sign the draft, but my parents, I'm fucked. I wouldn't be too worried. If there's any lesson the elites learned from the Vietnam War, it's that drafting people makes everyone hate the war that you're drafted to, which makes it difficult to continue to justify siphoning money into the MIC, you know? Like, the only goal here is to divert money into these companies, right? So you don't need, like, a bunch of soldiers. You don't need war, even. You don't need... Maybe you can have, like, an indefinite drone war in some shithole, like, I don't know, Yemen or whatever, but not like a... You don't need, like, a real war. There's no need for it, really. Like, I'll put it this way, okay? Has Apple needed to find some social pretext for the mass annihilation of iPhone 13s in order to justify selling people iPhone 14s? No. You just sell people iPhone 14s. Materialism, or sorry, I should say consumerism, gets people on that front. When it comes to the Pentagon and their contracts, they don't even need that. They're compelled to spend.
Want to meet, but I'd certainly be open to it.
Have you spoken to them since you issued the pardons?
I haven't spoken to any of them yet, but I know they're very happy.
Mr. President,
I gave them their life back. Their life was taken away from them unnecessarily and unfairly. I gave them their life back, so I can imagine they probably would like to.
Mr. President, what did you mean when you said that Biden took bad advice and not pardoning himself yesterday?
Well, he did. I think he did, because he pardoned all these people that are crooked as hell. Look, the congressmen, they're crooked. What they did is they destroyed evidence. When you destroy evidence, especially criminally like that, they did it criminally. And the reason they destroyed the evidence is because it proved that I was right. They didn't destroy evidence for no reason. They destroyed it because they found many documents saying that I offered 10,000 soldiers.
Again,
if they
this
had
is
500
not...
soldiers or National Guard, there would have been no problem. If they had 200, that would have been. I offered 10,000 if they needed them.
True.
There would have been no problem. That's been...
Yeah, everything you're saying about the LA fires is just incorrect. Like, it's just nonsense. None of it's true. It's just politicizing nonsense.
Now totally disproven, and it's also been disproven by Nancy Pelosi's daughter, who has her on tape saying it was her fault, that she has full responsibility for this. And they have all this stuff. They destroyed everything. And
oh yeah, as well as the destruction of what he's talking about. Like, I'm just assuming he's just making shit up, to be perfectly honest, because he just makes shit up consistently.
They go through a year and a half, 2 years of nonsense. They come up with tremendous evidence, and they destroyed evidence. And Schiff knew about it. That's why he's on there. He knew all about the destruction of evidence. A lot of people said he's done with the document, from what I understand, every document, because it proved that.
Oh my God, he's still on it.
I was totally innocent in the deal of very, very smart people. But Elon, one of the people he happens to hate, but I have certain hatreds of people too.
Okay, this is just Trump rambling on and on and on with regards to questions and all that stuff. So it's not really much in terms of policy stuff going on here. So yeah, I suppose we will watch like one of my favorite creators that ended up popping up in my home feed here, which was this guy. Yeah, I love this guy's videos because they're so informative and funny and very on point, if you would. So yeah, comment on some of this stuff here. I think the MAGA infighting is just for show. There's nothing really to it going on there. So yeah.
When a fire starts to burn, there's a lesson you must learn. Something, and you'll see you'll avoid. This is fine. 2025. Feeling fine. I'm Cody, by the way. Hi. Oh, how are you? I forgot to ask. If you're in Los Angeles, I sincerely hope you are doing all right. Also, same to people who are not in Los Angeles, I guess. Things are moving very fast these days. We'll be talking about the multiple fires some more.
Let's see what the segments are real quick. So much corruption already. MAGA infighting. Elon. Fascism Zuckerberg. This is the beginning. Okay, let's just go to the corruption part because that's the part that most interests me.
Get it. Says here you need 4 to 5 years working under another electrician? I mean, it's the AI overview, so who can say? It's fun how Google just lies now. Who am I? Hi, it's Cody again. We're covering the Trump inauguration, kind of, and all the fires, sort of, but not actually. But just in case, hey, Warmbo, any news to report?
Demi Moore won a Golden Globe.
That was weeks ago, Warmbo. Weeks ago. What? You're supposed to... It's fine. Not gonna engage with Warmbo. New Year's resolution.
In other entertainment news, Nosferatu is a surprise slammo at the box office.
What? Fucking what? Warmbo?
Warmbo gives the wobbled eggers reimagining 16 tells the story of in the
movie reviews. Right? Please say we're not doing Warmbo movie reviews. Please, somebody confirm for me that we are not doing confirmation. To office and how it's already proving to be a rat's nest of broken promises and fucked up new promises as he immediately begins to scapegoat immigrants and seek personal retribution over any goals aimed at helping Americans. You know, when he's not speculating about starting another world war. My gosh, the Gulf of America stuff. Do we even have time to talk about that? We probably should do a...
Yeah, no, stuff like that is like a complete distraction right there, honestly. I don't know why it is he's doing that. So I don't know. Recoils at Trump's threat to shake up briefing room. Trump sues the Des Moines register escalating threats against the media. Yeah, stuff like that is just, it's not going to hold up. It's just useless nonsense. Like Trump tried to sue a bunch of stuff. He tried to open up the libel laws for like slander and shit like that. And like, you know, not for slander, as well as like for slander. What I meant. But
America stuff. Do we even have?
And Gulf of America stuff. That stuff was more. It was more disturbing that so many conservatives got on board with it than actually Trump, because Trump's rhetoric was just nonsense, and it wasn't really worth paying attention to. It was just
One would
things to
point out
distract
that Trump
people
is a
with.
fascist demagogue. His supporters, or reasonable centrists, would try to talk about how anti-war he is. And certainly this developing and good ceasefire deal will contribute to that perception, despite that ceasefire being purposefully delayed until after the election, specifically because Netanyahu wanted Trump to win the election anyway. A huge part of the is he fascist debate involves pointing out that sure, he is that in tons of ways, but he's not imperialist or expansionist. And while some of it is probably trolling or bluster or his weird brain being weird and annoying, he is now thinking of and talking about being those things, imperialist and expansionist, with relation to the Panama Canal, Greenland, and Canada. Geez, who would have thunk? Really weird he was allowed to run again, and that
Again, stuff like that is just bluster. None of that really. He's not going to make Canada the 51st state. He's not going to try to take over control of Greenland and Panama Canal. That's not going to be a thing. That's never going to be a thing. It's just him saying stuff just to rile people up. So
that people voted for him, and that he won. The felon won. And now Trump is using the highest office in America as a legal loophole to get out of jail. Because, as was just revealed, if he didn't win the election, he absolutely would have been convicted for January 6th. Hey, maybe they should have started that process a little earlier. Like, maybe even immediately.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, in fact, when did the January 6th Commission finally do its recording? So, when did the January 6th Commission start? Started next year and disbanded 2023. So they took a full 3 years. Sorry, a full 2 years just to do that shit. What? Like, yeah.
But no, he succeeded at the most elaborate low-level grift ever pulled. And everyone is just trying to navigate this huge and weird problem that never should have been allowed in the first place.
Never before has this court been presented with such a unique and remarkable set of circumstances. This court has determined that the only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land is an unconditional discharge.
Unconditional discharge? I think I had a few of those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway, as we previously talked about, Trump has already begun loading up his administration with the most overtly scummy and corrupt people imaginable. Because why not? When the Democrats or government completely refuse to punish acts of insurrection or any crime, and the unelected world's richest man can just openly threaten to use his wealth to bend the will of our government, what's a few sex pests and oligarchs in key cabinet roles? There are no rules. I spit directly on the floor wherever I go now. Helps fight fires. I'm sorry, wait, actually scratch that. There are rules, but not for them.
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years? You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals?
That's Fox News personality and alleged sexual assaulter Pete Hegseth, who, at his confirmation hearing for Secretary of Defense, was asked about his proposal that after retirement, generals should be banned from working in the defense industry for 10 years. Not Pete, though, because Pete will be in charge of the generals. See, the generals might take advantage of their role to enrich themselves or be motivated by the potential of enriching themselves. But if you're in charge of those people, you can't be influenced by the decisions you make, right? mean, those are certainly words. Hegseth also wouldn't commit to not violating the Geneva Convention and left open the possibility of using force to take over Greenland. Good luck to Pete on his future money via the death machine, I guess.
Again, it's not going to happen. Why the fuck are people even worrying about that shit with Greenland and whatnot? It just, honestly, I was expecting that to be a lot better, but unfortunately, yeah, disappointing. Very disappointing segment, if you ask me. Let's do it quick. Walk ad. Yes. Stop seeing this ad. Don't know what it is. Don't care. So yeah, that's really all I have to engage with, I guess you could say. Stream went on a lot longer than I expected it to go to. It's about 2 hours and a half. I expected it only to be 2 hours minimum. But yeah, I guess it was just a lot to kind of go through, politically speaking, at the end. But yeah, at least we got that game out of the way. I'll go ahead and see you guys next time on the next stream, and I'll see you guys later.